Hey everybody, Judy Seeger back with another video tutorial. This one is how to detox and cleanse your organs using herbs. So this is where we get into the nitty-gritty details of how to go through each and every one of your detox organs using the herbs that come in your complete cleanse kit. So let's get into that. So any medical doctor will tell you that you have detox organs, and what are they? So we have the pictures here. We have the colon, I'll go according to the pictures here. We have the lungs, we have the kidneys, we have the skin and liver. Now, I do include the lymphatic system. It's technically not a detox organ. However, it is a very important part to move toxins from one area of your body to another. Now, medical doctors will really put down doing detoxes because they say, well, look, you have all these ways to get rid of toxins. Why would you need to do extra detox? Well, that's because we just have too many chemicals going on in our body along with the stress. And in my clinical experience, I have found that the organs are just overworked, overwhelmed, and not able to keep up with getting rid of the toxins, which is why you're on here to learn how to help your organs, get them really working well to get rid of all the extra chemicals and all the different stresses we go on in our life and not have to worry about disease. So let's get into which organ do we actually cleanse first. Always the colon. And the reason is here's a picture, of course, to show one reason, is because the colon, all 5 feet of it, this is the ascending colon, this is the transverse, the descending, and then down to the sigmoid. And the challenge is it gets plugged up due to stress, not digesting your food properly, and then eating the wrong foods and having your organs so stressed out that it cannot digest the food. So then these are the kind of things that happen. I've seen these many times in my clinic. This really does happen. I certainly have had it myself, so I do know that this is an issue. So we have to cleanse the colon first, and I'll tell you why. Because part of the issue is that this is how a colon should look like. Again, here's the ascending colon, here's the transverse colon, which goes across your belly. Then here's the descending colon, and then here's your sigmoid. Because when you clean out the colon first, a great thing is doing these detoxes is that belly fat. So many times the men who look like they have beer bellies, women who look like they're pregnant and they're not, very embarrassing, right? And a lot of times it's because the transverse colon is just plugged up and there's so much old fecal matter. I know it's kind of gross to think about it, but that is pushing out and causing the belly to protrude. So it's not just fat. You think it's fat, but actually a lot of times it's the colon underneath that's plugged up. So as we cleanse out, it's very typical, and especially for the men, that they lose 5 to 10 pounds doing this 3-3-3 detox. And then the belly goes down quite significantly, sometimes 1 or 2 sizes even. Women, it's a little bit slower, not quite as much, but it still feels better when the colon is cleansed out and you don't have this pushing on your belly and making you feel like you're pregnant, like you're bloated, like your belly is just so big that you can't even fit into your pants. Not a good feeling, right? All right, so why do we cleanse the colon first? So we avoid the common detox symptoms. This is the biggest misnomer, the biggest myth, the biggest false advertising in detox, that everybody says, oh, when you do the detox, you're going to have headaches, you're going to have nausea, pain, cravings, fatigue, irritability, skin rashes, muscle aches, all these symptoms down here that are listed. And that simply is not true. You might get a little bit of that stuff, but when you do it the way I'm outlining here, which is to do your pre-cleanse first and cleanse the colon first, you don't get hardly any symptom. You might get some, but certainly not to the level that everybody's scaring you with. So don't be afraid. If you do the things that I tell you to do in the order that I tell you to do it, you really will get very few symptoms. And the biggest thing that I'm going to keep saying in every single video tutorial is the more you rest and the more you allow your body to work through the detox body, the less these symptoms will be an issue. So in other words, when you do have a slight headache, it's best to go lay down and rest, right? And you could sleep, you could just relax, listen to music, whatever, just to relax, and it will pass very, very quickly. So that tip will always be repeated throughout these tutorials until you understand how important it really is. All right, so colon cleansing, what can it do? It can increase your energy, increase your immune system, enhance your liver function, reduce allergy symptoms, increase metabolism, weight loss, we already mentioned, of course, improve digestion, reduce joint aches and pains, improve your sleep, heighten your mental clarity, your focus, memory, improve stability of your moods and your balance, feeling of calmness and peace, and reduce your food, alcohol, and nicotine craving if you have any of those. And if you think this is just an arbitrary list that I put up here, not true. I have been a colon hydrotherapist for many, many years in my clinic, and I actually saw many of these happen, not only in my own life, which is why I went into this, but in many of the people that came into my clinic. So it really does work when you cleanse the colon. Is it the panacea? Is it the answer for everything? No, it's not, but it is a huge part of the healing. I mean, think about it. If you're getting rid of the toxins in your colon and able to absorb your nutrients better, doesn't that make your whole body's immune system stronger? Yes, it just makes common sense, right? So it does work as far as that goes. Will you see all of these things happen all at once? No, not necessarily, but you will see quite a bit of improvement as you cleanse your colon. So let's get into the actual cleansing of the colon and using part of your detox kit. So the colon detox powder, that's a smaller jar, 10 ounces, I believe it is, that it has the herbs in there that will help to get rid of the fecal matter in your colon. So how do you do it? I'll tell you the how-to, and I'll tell you a little bit more about the powder in just a second. So here's how you do it. You take 1 scoop, okay, so let's say like 1 heaping teaspoon scoop, and put it in room temperature water, and then you mix it vigorously. I mean, you really mix it really harsh, really fast, really vigorously, quickly. And that's to get rid of the lumps and whatnot and get it dissolved. And so you do that for a few seconds, and then you drink it fast. This is not like fine wine. You're not going to sip on it and enjoy the taste. It really has no taste to it, but you want to drink it quickly because otherwise it gels up and becomes quite thick. And then it's like Jell-O. Now, some people actually like it that way, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong letting it gel up and then just eating it kind of like an applesauce consistency. That's fine. I prefer to drink it, mix it up quickly and drink it. Then it's very, very important that you follow it with another glass of room temperature water. Why? Because it is important that you have enough liquid to help the herbs and the foods that are in here to get into your colon and do its work. Now, it's best to take it in the evening. You can take it any time in the day, but it will make you feel very full. So it's best to take it in the evening. That's a nice time to have it about an hour, maybe a half hour before bed, so that if you still have to go to the bathroom, you get up and go to the bathroom and it's not a problem. Now, how does it work? So here's an inside view on your colon. So the black powder is really extra fiber. It has psyllium, it has activated charcoal, it has flaxseed, it has apple pectin, all these things that will actually go in there and act like scrubby bubbles inside your colon. So when there's a lot of hardened fecal matter that has accumulated over the years, you need something to get in there and start scrubbing that stuff out. And this powder, beyond anything I have ever researched in my 35 years of being in this industry, this formula works. It actually goes in there and breaks up the fecal matter slowly but surely and gets it all scrubbed out. Plus the activated charcoal and the clay, there's some bentonite clay in there, absorb the toxins and get that moving out of the colon. So it really works well to double work in getting rid of the fecal matter and absorbing the toxins that have accumulated and moving it along through the colon and out. So that's the cool part. Now, the second part of your kit includes a capsule called the colon cleanse capsules. And you take 2 of these capsules after your colon powder. So you mix your first glass of water with your heaping teaspoon, you mix it vigorously, drink it down. The second glass of water, and that's when you take your 2 capsules. And that's the easiest way to do it. It's very simple. You're best to take it again, like I say, in the evening. Now, you should notice that your stools get looser. You should have better bowel movements the next day. If you don't, then increase 1 colon capsule each evening until your bowel movements are better. So I don't know how many that is. In my clinic, I have had people up to 10 capsules as they're doing these. I've had them up to 50. I've had them, crazy until they moved, and then it was done. It was not a problem, right? So it is. It takes time to get that colon moving, to get it so that it opens up and all that. Once they move it, then you're back down to just taking 2 and you're good to go. So if you have loose stools, which is pretty rare in this, but then you just reduce your capsules. It's pretty easy. It's not that complicated. Now, how does this all really work? So the colon capsules are the ones that help the peristalsis get going. Many times the colon, which this is the perfect looking colon, and it's very rare that people have this, but give you just an idea of what it should look like. The colon needs to move, and that movement, as the food that you eat and the food that is not needed anymore and is moved out through your large intestines here, it needs to have a movement called peristalsis. Now, as the peristalsis moves it through the 5 feet of colon, it slowly moves it all the way down and out. That's the way it's supposed to work. Unfortunately, because of our diet and stress, it doesn't do that. So this peristalsis, what happens, it's trying to move, but it gets stuck. And then eventually it just says, you know what, I'm not going to do this. This is just too much work. And then it sits there, and now we have some issues such as constipation, not having a bowel movement for 3-4 days, maybe having issues where your belly is protruding because the colon is just swollen up so much, maybe just that heavy feeling in your colon. All these things are because the colon is just not doing its work in peristalsis. So the herbs kind of act like a little tickle where it says, hey, let's get things going here, and let's get it moving so that the fecal matter goes out the way it's supposed to. And so it acts like a little reminder to the colon. Now, that said, there is going to be a little bit of cramping as it moves in certain areas, because if there's some blockages in certain areas, you're going to feel a little bit of cramping. It will pass. It's not a big deal. It's a good thing because it's saying, hey, we're getting things moving here. It's like going to the gym and starting to work out. You're going to be a little bit sore. You're going to be a little bit stiff as you get going. Well, it's the same thing with your colon. It will be saying, hey, I have to move. Okay, but I'm not liking this so much. So it will have a little bit of cramping, but that's okay. It'll go away. All right, now, what else can we do to help move things along? Having coffee enemas or colonics, right? So what is the big deal about coffee enemas and colonics? First, let's talk about the coffee enema, since it's the most popular and most convenient, and most people like to have it for that reason. So the coffee enema is great because it can be done in your home, and it's just administered rectally. So there's fluid, which is the coffee that you make, that goes into your rectum and then goes up throughout your colon and helps to release toxins. The whole way that this works is that the caffeine has compounds in there, such as palmitates. Now, palmitates have about a 600 to 700% increase in activity level that it creates in your liver, which is the glutathione. The glutathione is an enzyme in your liver that is very important to keep stimulated. It helps to keep your liver working so that it could get rid of the toxins and keep your immune system strong, and just lots and lots of different things. So the caffeine, the compound in the caffeine, the palmitate, increases that glutathione and says, hey, let's stimulate you so you release the toxins and get the liver working better. And then also it has, the caffeine has other compounds in there, anything from the theobromine to theophylline, and all these things dilate the bile ducts and open everything up and increases the bile flow. Why is that important? Anything you can do to increase the bile flow, to get the fats broken down and to make the liver work better is fantastic. So coffee enemas are very, very good for that. Here's a very simple picture of somebody laying down on their bathroom floor. They have the bucket with the tubing for the caffeine that is put in there, the coffee, and then it's just hung up in the bathroom, and then the tube is inserted, and then you allow the caffeine to go into the colon. So all the directions are on your downloads, and it is all there for you. All you have to do is make sure that you get this done every single day of your 3-day cleanse. Very, very important to do. Okay. Now, colonics are great. Colonics, I personally like to see people do colonics. This is what I used to do in my clinic. So you see somebody sitting here with the person who's ready to do a colonic. The difference is that there's a machine here that allows the water to go into the rectum, and it's managed by a dial that allows the warm water to go in. So the reason I like colonics better personally is because it goes into the colon much more, how could I say, it's not forcefully, but a little bit more than the coffee enema. Coffee enema doesn't have as much pressure, whereas the colonics do. So that helps quite a bit. There's also a tube here that if you want to see what comes out, that's fine. If you don't want to see it, that's fine too. So the water goes in, and then there's a tube where the water goes out and the fecal matter goes along with that. Now, the other advantage of doing colonics is that the colon hydrotherapist could do massage, and that's lovely because as you're laying there, you got somebody working that and getting more action, more of the fecal matter out. And that really, really works well to get rid of the fecal matter much more quickly and much more effectively. The challenge, of course, is that colon hydrotherapy is more expensive, but it is more effective. So depends how fast you want to do this, depends on where you are financially, depends on what kind of results you want to see. But those are the two ways to get the colon cleansed out. Now, here's the number 2 organ to cleanse out always is your liver. So you want to cleanse out your liver. Why? Because the liver has over 500 vital functions, anything from your immune system against infection. It's great for proteins and cholesterol. It excretes waste via the bile, regulates blood clotting, clears your blood of any kind of medication, chemicals, alcohol, converts excess glucose to starch for storage, which helps for energy, excretes bile for fat digestion, and this is just a few. I think there's many more than 500 actually, but just get the picture. The liver has a lot of functions, right? Now, let's go to your complete cleanse kit where you have the best herbs to cleanse your liver. So those are going to be your bitter herbs, and the ones that are included in your kit include that. So you have your milk thistle, your Oregon grapefruit, your dandelion root, your garlic, and many, many more. So again, how do you use all this, right? The directions are in your package, so make sure you go to your page to download everything. But here's the basics. You take 2 dropperfuls of the liver detox tincture, and a dropper full, it's not a full dropper, it's going to be really halfway, because by the time you squeeze the top rubber part and let it go, you're going to get it halfway full. So we say 2 dropperfuls, but they're really halfway to the eyedropper. So just so you know that. And you take that 3 times a day. Now, the other part of this is the liver detox tea, and you take 1 cup of that 3 times a day. You can mix them together if you'd like to, because some people don't like the taste of the tincture. That's fine. Take 2 dropperfuls, put it in your tea, drink it down, and you're good to go. So quite easy and very, very good to tonify your liver and to get rid of the toxins in your liver. Now, the third organ to cleanse out are your kidneys. Your functions of your kidneys include fluid balance. So a lot of times if you're feeling that you're getting swelling, you're getting edema anywhere in your body, your ankles, your legs, your wrists, that kind of stuff, your fingers, those all include issues with your kidneys. It also removes waste products from the blood. It maintains normal blood pressure by balancing the electrolytes such as your sodium and potassium. It regulates your bone mineralization and production of red blood cells. Again, lots of work that the kidneys do. Now, the best way to cleanse your kidneys is to take the herbs. Again, this is in your liver detox tea, so you don't have to worry about it. But juniper berries and uva ursi cleavers are all involved in that as well. So don't worry about thinking, oh, I have to have certain herbs at certain times. It's like a salad. You know, in a salad, you mix your lettuce, your cucumbers, your cilantro, your parsley, your cucumbers, carrots, radishes, all these different things. And you worry about, oh, well, wait, you know, radishes are good for my liver, so I should really eat those separately. No, you don't. You mix them all together, knowing that your body knows how to do this. And it's the same thing with herbs. When you take your herbs, understand that they all know what they have to do. You just have to take it. So the liver detox tea has these herbs, so that's cool. I say drink 5 to 6 cups daily. I said 3 cups before, but when you're wanting to clean your kidneys and your liver, you could go ahead and drink up to 5 to 6 cups. So that would probably be your maximum amount of cups per day. All right, number 4 organ to cleanse is your skin. So your skin is your largest organ in your body. And when you do these 3 things, it will help to make your skin smoother. That's always great. It increases circulation, improves your immunity, better muscle tone, remove toxins, many things that doing cleansing for your skin is good for. So the 3 ways are doing a cleanse for your skin is to dry skin brush, to do a salt scrub, and to sweat. Just as a side note, it's very important that you don't use any body lotion while you're doing your skin cleanse. You don't want to put anything extra on your skin, even olive oil, coconut oil, all those things. It's best just to take a break for these 3 days and not do any of that, okay? All right, so what are the benefits of the salt scrub? The benefits of the salt scrub is that you have over 16 different minerals in there. It energizes you. You really feel, when I did it in my clinic and people were doing the salt scrub, they were always saying, wow, I feel more energy going on. I feel much better. So that's the cool part. And then it stimulates your lymph nodes. And so we're going to talk about that in a minute. And it leaves your skin feeling smooth. So the dry skin brushing leaves your skin feeling smooth, and so does the salt scrub. The benefits of sweating, very important. It's the fastest way to detox, bar none. Very important to make sure that you are detoxing, and the fastest way is through sweating. That also helps to eliminate those symptoms that we're talking about, headache, nausea, all that, when you are sweating. It also speeds up your metabolism, improves your cardio health, meaning your cardiovascular, your heart health, and also to lose weight. All right, so let's get into your lymphatic cleansing. Lymphatic is your lymph nodes and your lymph vessels. So as you can see, the lymph system is all throughout your body. There is just a ton of these green things going out through your body from the top of your head to the bottom of your feet. And people don't really understand it, so I want to just take a couple of minutes here to explain it. You can see this is a close-up. The biggest thing is that the lymph nodes under your arms, the axillary lymph nodes, and in your neck and your whole thoracic region is pretty intense. There's a lot of these lymph nodes everywhere. And it's very, very important to cleanse the lymphs and make them move along here, because otherwise they get plugged up. And this is when the surgeon wants to remove them, especially for those who have breast cancer, right? And it is your choice. I believe strongly that if you do all these things to help your lymph nodes move along, then the swelling goes down quickly and you might be able to avoid the surgery, right? Here's a close-up of how it really works. This is your lymph vessel. So the toxins come in, and then your lymph node, holds it here. It's kind of like a little storage tank until it's ready to move it to the next area. Now, this is where the challenge lies. It gets swollen in here, right? It won't go back down. That's a cool thing. We have a valve here to prevent the backflow of the toxins, but it will stay in this area and get swollen. And so this is the area we need to move it out of and get it out so it doesn't cause any problems, right? So how do you do that? Well, the dry skin brushing, very, very important, as well as your mini trampoline. And the more you exercise and move your body, and if you have a mini trampoline, it is a great way to move those lymphs and get the lymph fluid moving so it doesn't get stuck in those lymph nodes. That's the most important part. All right, so there's lots and lots of information and downloads for you. There's videos on details about everything I talked about. This is a good overview. And again, remember, as we're putting this all together, you set the date, get your 3-day pre-cleanse going, get your 3-day cleanse intensive going, your post-cleanse, and then do the OMG. It's always most important to make sure you do your OMG, which is order your supplies, get organized, get your mind in the game, get set, and let's go. That's what it's about. So next up, we're going to actually get into the cleansing and all the details on that. So we'll see you on the next video tutorial.